doesn't change by a good 50% year on year,
Yeah.
you ain't seeing enough people.
I think that's probably right.
You ain't meeting enough.
Yeah, that's probably right, mate, yeah. Yeah. That's to do with your own growth, though, eh?
Well, however you want to come to it, but whether it's just natural growth or what.
I heard somebody say once, if you're not embarrassed by who you were last week, you're not moving quick enough.
Yeah, that's good as well. That's a nice one.
Yeah, the people at your wedding is it's like a reflection of who you are, mate.
Yeah, obviously you'd have close friends and family, wouldn't you? But so we end up doing a bit of business with them. Them are the sorts of people you'd have at your wedding, innit? People that you've done multi-million-pound developments with.
Yeah.
You instantly build a bit of connection, don't you? Trust, and normally a bit of friendship and all, innit?
So what do you think of them guys then? In terms of work, relationship?
Just on a personal front perspective, they just seem like decent, honest, down-to-earth people, which is always a good start, innit? Feel like you're talking to somebody who you could potentially do business with. Nothing to prove, nothing to hide. Based on the stuff that they've told us, obviously this is unverified, innit? We don't know whether it's true or what. But they're doing decent sized developments, aren't they? Bigger than what we're doing. And them doing them quickly as well, which is huge to us at this moment, isn't it?
So he said 7 months. He reckons 7 months to turn that project round, whereas another build has told us 15.
Yeah. And it's 16 grand a month. Development interest.
Yeah.
That's
if you
a
work out
massive
1% a month, which is a bit more than that, but 1% a month, that's on £1 million, that's what? A lot of money, man. 60 grand over 6 months is saving us if
well, he's saving us time, which is another thing.
Yeah.
Time, and then the money as a result of the time saving. He's allowing us to get the rooms, or studios I should call them, let 7 months sooner as well, so you got the rental gain.
Yeah.
Rental income gain. Absolute no-brainer, isn't it? Obviously there's a lot of boxes to tick yet, but as first impressions go, it was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he suggested maybe, rather than just coming in as a contractor, potentially
JV partner.
joint venturing, yeah, and having shares in the company. We'll have to discuss with our current investor how that would look, but if we could refinance out the current bridging loan, get on a different bridging loan and get them to fund the development,
It's
and
massive,
we'll just
isn't it?
refinance on the
Absolutely
back
massive.
end.
And I'm sure he said that as well. We've just been debating that driving back, haven't we? Whether he did say that, but I'm almost certain he said fund
Yeah.
the development as well as do it,
Yeah.
which is a
It's
saving
a
on
lot of
itself.
headache as well, it saves, innit?
A lot of time again saving, isn't it?
As soon as planning's gained,
You're
they
straight
can
off.
get straight in there, can't they?
We've got a few little boxes to tick up. We've got to get rid of the asbestos, which is obviously being done today, wasn't it? The identification of it, got to remove it. We got this level 3 archaeology report that needs doing before we kick off as well.
Money for old rope.
And some just general health and safety, a construction environment management plan, which is very similar to a construction management plan, but there's an environmental aspect to it, air quality and all that fascinating stuff.
Oh, the health impact assessment, is that bit? We don't need to do one of them, do we?
I've had an email actually off them asking progress. That's an invoice we haven't had yet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But now that seems fine, doesn't it? Should be hearing a result this week, but
Yeah.
we're Tuesday afternoon now and we've not heard anything, so who's to say don't roll over again?
Which?
Planning.
I don't know. I think I'm quietly confident that's going to come through.
Yeah,
this week.
hopefully.
Yeah. So good meeting. good to get in the network, even if maybe this one doesn't come through. It's good, good contact to have.
Brilliant. Even if it's just to strictly build a,
Contractor basis.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, seemed like a decent chap, did he?
Both did, yeah. A lot of experience there.
Yeah.
2 businesses that have come together. Robert's got his own joinery business. Can't think of the other guy's name.
Colin,
he's worked in contracting in different forms, hasn't he, for a number of years as well. The way that they were talking, you knew they'd done a bit. So, yeah, could be good.
So every Tuesday I go and see my auntie. She's 95 or 96, bedridden, and I'll go down there at least once, usually a couple of times a week. And I always come away, particularly now she's like near end of life, and it makes me wonder why you do what you do and why you worry about such insignificant stuff. Because the reality is that none of us, even if you're 16 years old listening to this, relatively have much time. And essentially we're a fart in the wind. Even in a few hundred years, the most famous, the richest, the wisest will be out of the memory of 99% of the population. You might remember the odd person. Society remembers some of the philosophers and stuff. They get remembered sometimes if they make a distinct worldview shift, and cultures tend to get built upon their worldview. But when I look at what I do, I don't know why I worry about what I worry about and get stressed about what I get stressed about, because it's all a load of nonsense. Because we're all going to be there at some point where we're minutes away from dying, thinking, did I live a life I could have lived? Was the potential that's there, has that been fulfilled? And the fear and the worries and the doubts that we seem to, that run a lot of our behaviour patterns, they're just fear-based nonsense. And I always say to people, like, you are going to die. What the fuck are you worried about? And it's easy to say that, but when you're in the moment, you forget that quickly, especially when you're in fight or flight. You're in the reptilian part of your brain, and and you're acting, and a lot of social media does this. It makes you just operate in the immediacy rather than thinking more strategically and intelligently. In the businesses I run, a lot of this come from, like, I used to study a bit of Zen and Taoism and things like that. A lot of the meditations that those guys do is around death, the death of the ideas that you hold, as well as the death of the physical body. And when you sort of have those fundamentals, the fears that you hold are seen for what they are, like illusions and products of things that aren't really there, just conditioning that needs to be undone. So when I sit with my auntie there, I've just come away now, and I'll ask her questions, although she does talk a bit of nonsense nowadays. She sees things and whatever. Sometimes when she's with it, I ask her some of the questions about her past, and she always says about the good times she had, and also the risks that she took, and the things that most people didn't do that she did. Those are the things that she remembers vividly. Fitting in, trying to be part and parcel of being a good person and society as a whole and whatever, you can never flourish there. And that's one of my biggest fears, is lying on my deathbed, not having fulfilled the potential that's stuck here, based on your spiritual beliefs, whatever, that God has given you, that nature has given you. Yeah, I just thought I'd cover that as I've come out as quite reflective and contemplative.